So we've made some content and now it's still sitting on the device. Now we want to be able to share it. And I've brought in some screenshots just to show the flow so that I don't have to leave the application. So this button here, when I press it, it takes you into the export workflow. And that's what I'm going to walk you through right now, which is, again, this button here that I'm tapping several times. So when you tap it, you get presented with the different formats that you can export in. Video and project goes to our server, Explain Everything Discover, which behaves almost like YouTube, where you can share things as public, private, or unlisted. What happens is you copy the project over the internet to Explain Everything Discover, and it'll host the video for you and also host the project file in case you wanted to download and edit or share it or anything like that. Let me show you what that flow looks like. So when you choose that, you get the option to give a name, a description, and then you get to choose the sharing type and add categories. And when you hit publish, it just takes a matter of seconds for it to go from being uploaded to giving you a link that you can quickly share. So it's the fastest way to go from content on your device to something that's publicly shared. Now that being said, there's other things that people like to do. For example, some people want to share the video and send it to places like Dropbox or Google Drive. When you do that, the video is going to be created on your device, so it might take some time to render. It's just something to keep in mind. It generally takes just about as long as your original recording was, or sometimes faster if it's not very complicated. So it's just something to keep in mind. The simpler the project, the faster it is to render. And you can export to all of these destinations, or depending on your device, you can use what are called share intents to be able to send it to really any other location on your device. That was video. Another format is as a PDF, which will just take a flat image of each of your slides and make a multi-page PDF that, again, you can share anywhere. So this is helpful if you're just taking notes and you don't have any recordings and you want to make it something you can share easily. You can also export as an image. You can, down here, you can just choose certain slides to export as an image. And again, those are things that can be easily shared. And finally, the project. This is, called a .explain file. And what that is, it's our own file format that's editable. So it's kind of analogous to a Word document versus a PDF. A Word document is very easily editable, and if you share that, people can get right into it and manipulate it. Whereas a PDF, well, yeah, you can edit some of them, but in general, it's more of a one-directional experience. So the explain file is something you can host anywhere. Again, you could send it to Discover, and it's the kind of the fastest way to share it. Or you could post it in a Google Drive or in iCloud Drive or even on your LMS, and other people will be able to download it and continue working off of it. And this is the open in. So here's an example of when I choose open in, you get all these options. And if I kept swiping in this direction, you would see all of the other places that I could send it to. Those would be other apps installed on this device, or some devices support wireless file transfer, and that's another way to share.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome. All right, if there's no other questions, I'm gonna move on.
Okay, so for this exporting and sharing exercise, I want you to do a math problem. Doesn't have to be a math problem, but I feel that's the easiest one to do. So record yourself doing a math problem. This is simple as 7 plus 2, which is 9. Then once you're done recording, hit the stop button. Make sure it looks good on the timeline and everything. And then once you're good with that, go on the top right corner, hit document, and then that'll export it as a PDF. So then you just choose to where you want to export it. I'm going to go to Google Drive. And then you can see it's being exported, and you can see it's as a PDF. Just choose where you want it to be. exporting Google Drive. I don't really care, so I'll just move it here, and then it'll be uploaded. Uploading is good, and that's all I want you to do for this exercise. Now for exercise 2, I want you to take a project and export it as a video. Now, this you can use your previous projects that you've done watching this tutorial, like your simple animation that you did previously, or you could do a drawing. You could just write something and record yourself, or if you're feeling ambitious, you can do all the above. Anyway, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna hit the red recording button. Okay, now I'm just gonna start drawing. Let's draw some stars. Let's just draw some stars overlapping each other. And keep going. Let's draw like a little graph. Yeah, that's good. Some spirals. Alright, so now once you're done drawing, make sure it looks good on the timeline. Top right button, the blue one. Export it as a video. I'm just going to save it to my camera roll, so I'm going to hit save video, and it will export the project as a video straight to your camera roll. And it takes a while depending on how much stuff you did, and speed this up. Alright, so exporting is a success, and that's all I want you to do for this exercise. Now exercise 3 is going to practice your timeline skills. So I want you to draw and then speed up your drawing, and then I want you to bring in a web browser and then export that as a project, explain everything project. So now, as you can see, I just did my drawing. Now I'm going to bring in my browser. Let's just go on Google. Alright, so now, just an example. It's a Faraday Future. It's an electric car company. It might go bankrupt. Who knows? Anyway, they have a cool website design. We're just going to go through it quickly. This is just an example. So here's one of their cars. Cool. Show the battery. And the powertrain. Okay, so now that you've got your recording done, just go on your timeline. So here's my drawing. I need the speed proportion. So press and hold. You go on start selection. I'm going to go and speed up. I went on 4 times. You can choose it however much you want. Here's what it looks like. Just speeds up a certain portion of it, however much you selected. So now, just looking at the browser portion, make sure it looks good. Beautiful. Top right corner, hit the blue button, export project. And then now, since you want to go to a person, you have to go on the airdrop to someone who has an iPad. So right now, those 2 people are busy using their iPad, so I don't want to disturb them. So that's why I didn't click on any of them. But that's how you export them as a project.